Guys, this is Prime Concept. In this video, we want to continue our analysis on projectile motion. In our previous video, we introduced projectile motion. If you have not seen that video, just click my channel, go to playlist, then you will see projectile motion. You will see a playlist for projectile motion. Click it and watch the introductory video there. In that introduction, we explained what projectile motion is. We said it's the motion of an object that follows a parabolic path, right? Yes, and we gave several examples. When you kick a ball, it follows a parabolic path. When you release water from a hose, it follows a parabolic path. These are examples. In this video, we want to consider the terminologies that are used in projectile motion in describing projectile motion. Now, one of the things you want to understand for a projectile, if say for example you kick a ball, you want to study how long it will take that ball to travel to your, let's say, opponent's post and hit the ground. You want to know the time it will take it to leave from where you kicked it and then return to your opponent's post and hit the ground. That is what you refer to as time of flight. So we're going to define it very quickly. This is the time. This is the time it takes a projectile to return to the same plane from which it was projected. So the time it takes a projectile to return to the same plane of projection. So this is what we mean. Say this is our projectile motion, like this. So when you release a projectile from this point, this is a horizontal plane. So how long will it take it to move from this place and hit back this same horizontal plane? That is what we call time of what? Flight, or say total time of flight. Now, and we'll be denoting that time of flight with capital T. So let me indicate it here. We'll be denoting it with capital T so that if we want to describe another time, we can now use small t to describe it. So total time, or the time of flight, is capital T. Now we want to see the relationship, the formula that can help us find out how long it would always take a projectile to hit the same plane of projection. Now, you want to remember, let's recall, if you recall, the height, the vertical height attained by a projectile according to the equation of motion is h, which is equal to ut minus half gt squared, right? This is the height, especially when that object is going up, we use a negative sign, right? Yes, because you're projecting up, that's why it is negative. Now, since we are considering vertical motion, we're going to have that it is h, and this becomes uy, vertical component of our velocity, times, I'll be replacing with capital T, minus half g times what now? Capital T squared. Now, you know that when you project a particle from this point, as it goes up, it covers different heights. It covers different heights, which is what we have denoted as h. It covers different heights. When it hits back this plane, the height that it has covered at this point becomes what again? 0, because at this point there is no height again. So it means that for us to find the time of flight, it should happen when the height attained becomes what? 0. So it means I will set the height to be 0. So h is 0. If that is the case, I have 0 equals uyt minus half gt squared. So I would have this. So remember, I'm trying to find the time of flight. So if I push this to this side, this negative sign crosses. I'll then have half gt squared equals uyt. You would notice that one of these t would fizzle one of these, right? So I have half g times t equals what? Uy. So if I cross multiply, let me quickly make t the subject. I'll have that t becomes 2 would multiply this, which is 2uy divided by g. So this is what we have, but we're not going to stop here because we know that uy has a component value. So it means I would say that t is equal to 2. If you recall from our previous video, we said that uy is going to be u sine theta, then all divided by what? G. So what we have just gotten is what we know as equation for what? Time of flight. And what is time of flight? The time it takes a projectile to return back to the same plane from which it was what? Projected. And that time is given as t equals 2u sine theta over what? G. So you need to know this. And you should also know that there is also something we call time to attain maximum height, which we call small letter t. So how much time will it take a projectile to move from this point and get to the maximum height? The time, you should take note, the time it takes a projectile to move from this point to this point, from assumption, is the same as the time to move from this point to this point, right? So which simply means is that if the time from here to here is small t, the time from here to here should also be what? Small t. So that when you add small t plus small t, it becomes 2t. So it means that small t should be what now? Half of the total time. The time to reach maximum height is half of the time of flight. So you should take note of this. That is to say, this time small t is just going to be u sine theta over what? G. So small t is time taken to reach maximum height. So if the question asks, find the time it will take a projectile to reach the maximum height, this is the formula to use. Small t is capital T over 2, or small t is u sine theta over what? G. So we're going to take one example in this video so that we can understand this concept. Let me drop the question. Alright, so we have this simple question to illustrate what we have learned. And the question says, a stone is thrown with a velocity of this. Thrown, so it means the initial velocity is thrown with an initial velocity of this. So it means that u is 5 meters per second at an angle of 30 degrees. So our angle of projection is 30 degrees. So remember, the angle can also be called angle of elevation, so that you don't get confused tomorrow. So with an angle of elevation or projection of 30 degrees to the horizontal, calculate. Remember, you take note of this, to the horizontal. Tomorrow they may want to confuse you. They will say at an angle of 30 degrees to the vertical. If they give you to the vertical, don't use it that way. It has to be to the what? Horizontal. So this statement is very important. So for example, they say at an angle of 30 degrees to the vertical, it means that the angle you'll be solving with is going to be 90 minus 30, which is 60. So take note of that. So once they say to the horizontal, then you use that angle. But if they say to the vertical, you say 90 minus that angle to get the one you need. So theta is 30 degrees. Calculate the flight time. So we're looking for the time of flight, capital T. So if you recall, our formula says that T is 2u sine theta over what? G. So T becomes 2 times 5 sine 30, all divided by G. So they didn't give us, but then we know we're going to assume it to be 9.81. So that our T becomes, remember this is 5. So I have 10. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times, remember sine 30 is 0.5. So 10 times 0.5 is 5. So I would say 5 divided by 9.81. This would give me 0.51 seconds, 0.51, nearly half second. So 0.51 seconds. So, and that is the time of flight. Now, assuming the question says, find the time to reach the maximum height. What do you think it will be? If you understand the answer, drop the answer in the comment section. Find the time to reach the maximum height. Drop the answer to this one in the comment section, and I'll check if you are correct. And if you have watched this video to this point, thanks for really engaging up till this point. You are yet to subscribe, quickly hit the subscribe button, because I'll be dropping more videos that will be opening your eyes under the projectile motion. In our next video, I'll be looking at the derivation for horizontal range and how we can use it to solve problems. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you in the next video. Prime concept.